The Saints have wrapped it all up. They're ready for the season opener against the Buccaneers. Details coming up next on the Acme Oyster House Afternoon Wrap. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Oshner Sports Performance Center and welcome into the Acme Oyster House Afternoon Wrap, our last one of the week, our last one before finally a regular season game for the New Orleans Saints. With John DeShazier, I'm Sean Kelley. JD, I'll let you get to your favorite Friday phrase here in just a moment, but the Saints practiced inside here at the facility today. Final preparations, of course, on the field tomorrow, meetings and the like before finally playing on Sunday. John, this is kind of the Friday routine. You're buttoning things up. You're going through those final details.
Yeah, these guys are relatively healthy. I think Andrews Pete might be the only one who might not go on Sunday, the left guard, but for the most part, they're relatively healthy, and they are ready to get after it. I mean, they've been sitting around, they've been waiting, the anticipation's been building, they know the expectations for this team, they have high expectations of themselves, and they're ready to get out there and prove something.
Andrews Pete was on the practice field again today, John.
Yeah, it's good to see him out there, and hopefully he'll be able to go on Sunday. We know he was bothered by a quad for a couple of days. Hopefully he will be able to go on Sunday. If not, probably will be Josh Laribas at left guard, but that says something that the Saints have that kind of depth at the left guard position and along the offensive line that they feel comfortable enough to be able to go like that.
Looks like roster moves and shuffling continue here for the New Orleans Saints. Boston Scott back on the practice field today. We'll assume that he'll be a member of the practice squad, John.
Yeah, he's probably going to be on the practice squad. And the Saints, we know, are a little thin at running back right now. Going into this game, at least on the active roster, only Alvin Kamara and also Mike Gillislee at running back. So they're a little bit thin. They have not gone into a game with only 2 running backs on the active roster. We'll see if there might be a change there. But right now, it looks like it will be those 2.
Yeah, still time to make that change. And again, don't forget, not 53 active on Sunday, a number less than that, 46 if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, exactly. And that means every roster spot on game day is more precious because you have to really be cognizant of where your numbers are. You need how many offensive linemen, how many receivers do you need, how many defensive backs, how many linebackers, and you've got to be also cognizant of how many of those guys are going to be able to play a dual role and go on special teams.
All right, so this game, this first one of the season, is the one that directly probably is impacted by training camp itself. We'll get into the rhythm of the season after this weekend, but things that were accomplished in August certainly have a play here. And when you're talking about preparing for this ball game, it's you versus your teammates. Good news for a guy like Ken Crawley, who should be the starting cornerback here again this season for the New Orleans Saints come Sunday. In preparing for Tampa's wide receiving core, led by Mike Evans, he had a chance to go against Mike Thomas and speedster Ted Ginn Jr., all in preparation for this first game.
AG always tell us every time we go out to practice, have a feel for like receivers, like visualizing those receivers as this receiver is going to go against on Sunday. And Mike kind of got a little game like Mike Evans and Ted. He's a fast guy, like to go deep. D-Jack all the way. We just try to compete against those guys in practice and try to visualize those guys on game day.
There's been talk this week, too, about who you're opening against, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It is a division opponent. You'll see them twice. But, John, it does have some bit of conversation surrounding it because, again, it's a division game.
Yeah, it makes the preparation maybe a little bit easier because you already have a rich history of what these guys like to do. Now, again, the quarterback is different. There won't be Jameis Winston. There will be Ryan Fitzpatrick. And yet, you don't expect wholesale changes in the offensive philosophy. So the Saints probably have a pretty good feel of what Tampa Bay likes to do.
Is there more value on this game because it's Tampa? Head coach Sean Payton.
Yeah, to some degree. Someone asked me if it's worth double. I don't think that. I mean, we have 16 units. We have 16 games to play. Certainly in the division. I think the players compartmentalize. I know we do, and we focus on this game. And so it's a divisional game. If it wasn't, we'd focus on the non-divisional game. Nonetheless, it's still, an opportunity to get your first win.
Well, one thing's for sure from head coach Sean Payton, he's happy to have the Buccaneers here at home to start. He's hoping that the crowd noise and crowd enthusiasm that the Saints left the last regular season with against Tampa Bay and others in the division carries over here to this season.
We spent most of our defensive periods this week with the crowd noise. Typically each week we're using it either when we're on offense because we're on the road or when we're on defense at home. And listen, I think that's important for our fans. I mean, we need it to be, deafening. And I thought as the year went on last year, it got better, got really good towards the end of the year. But hopefully we can start right from the get-go on Sunday.
All right, so Saints and Bucs, noon Sunday at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. John, you've waited a long time. You can say it, my friend.
Hay is in the barn. Let's
Yes,
go.
indeed. We're ready. Football is here again for New Orleans and their Saints this weekend. And, of course, everybody's still pretty happy in these parts about how the season started in general last night with the Eagles defeating the Atlanta Falcons. Quick note, tonight in Champion Square here in downtown New Orleans, it's Gleason Grawl. I know many of the Saints will be there. Our great friend Steve Gleason and his organization hoping to raise a lot of money tonight. Great music, great food, going to be a good time. Looks like the weather's going to hold too. So if you can, head on out to Champion Square tonight. It's free admission. They'll ask for a donation. And, of course, I know everyone will be generous. Good stuff. We'll see you on Sunday at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Full coverage on NewOrleansSaints.com and, of course, your Saints mobile app. Until then, enjoy your weekend. See you on game day.